is a battle taking place every single day that no one else can see. It is not fought with weapons, wealth, or influence. It is fought in the hidden place of your mind. Before you ever conquer the world around you, you must first conquer the world within you. Every great destiny rises or falls on one question: who is in control, your mind or your emotions? Many people have incredible gifts, remarkable opportunities, and extraordinary potential, yet they remain trapped because they have surrendered the driver's seat of their lives to fear, anger, disappointment, anxiety, and temporary feelings. They allow emotions to make decisions that shape their future, and then they wonder why their lives never change. But you were not created to be ruled by emotions. You were created to lead your life with wisdom, discipline, conviction, and purpose. The greatest victories are never won in public. They are won in the private moments when no one is watching. When you choose courage over fear, truth over lies, discipline over comfort, and purpose over temporary pleasure. The strongest person is not the one who never faces pressure. The strongest person is the one who refuses to let pressure change their principles. When your mind becomes stronger than your emotions, obstacles become opportunities, setbacks become preparation, and every challenge becomes another step toward the life you were created. Snorts. To live. So don't watch this message as entertainment. Watch it as an appointment with your future. Listen with an open heart. Examine your thinking and allow every principle to challenge the way you respond to life. If you stay with this message until the very end, you will discover how to develop a disciplined mind, strengthen your inner character, and build a kind of resilience that remains unshaken in every season. The battle for your future begins now, and the victory starts in your mind. Your greatest battle is not with people. It is not with your circumstances. It is not even with the obstacle standing in your way. Your greatest battle is with your own mind. The mind is the command center of your life. Every decision, every habit, every achievement, and every failure begins with a thought. Long before your hands take action, your mind has already decided the direction you will go. This is why the person who masters the mind becomes the master of their life. But the person who allows emotions to control their thinking will spend their days reacting instead of leading. Too many people wake up every morning waiting to feel motivated before they move. They wait to feel confident before they speak. They wait to feel ready before they begin. They wait to feel fearless before they take the next step. But feelings are unreliable leaders. They change with every circumstance. One moment they tell you that you are capable, and the next they whisper that you should quit. If you build your life on emotions, you will build it on shifting sand. A strong life is never built on unstable feelings. It is built on disciplined thinking. Your mind was designed to lead your emotions, not to follow them. When your emotions become the leader, confusion follows. Fear begins making decisions. Anger chooses your words. Anxiety controls your future. Doubt destroys opportunities before they even arrive. That is why so many gifted people never fulfill their purpose. They are not defeated by a lack of talent. They are defeated by a lack of mental discipline. Potential without mental mastery is wasted potential. The strongest people are not those who never feel pain. They are the ones who refuse to let pain make their decisions. Courage is not a fear. Courage is the decision that your purpose is greater than your fear. Strength is not pretending that emotions do not exist. Strength is putting emotions in their proper place. You acknowledge what you feel, but you refuse to let those feelings determine who you become. Every day your mind is listening to a voice. The question is, whose voice are you believing? Are you listening to fear, failure, rejection, and past disappointments? Or are you feeding your mind with truth, wisdom, vision, and purpose? Whatever you repeatedly feed your mind will eventually shape your character. Your life will always move in the direction of your strongest thoughts. If your thinking is weak, your actions will be weak. If your thinking is powerful, your actions will become unstoppable. Stop giving temporary emotions permanent authority over your future. One emotional moment can destroy relationships that took years to build. One emotional decision can close doors that may never open again. One uncontrolled reaction can damage a reputation that took a lifetime to earn. This is why mental strength is more valuable than physical strength. Anyone can react. Few people can remain calm under pressure, think clearly in chaos, and choose wisdom when emotions demand revenge. Pressure does not create your character. Pressure reveals it. When life becomes difficult, your mind will fall to the level of its training. If you have trained your mind with discipline, wisdom, patience, and faith, you will remain steady even in the middle of storms. But if your mind has been trained by fear, excuses, negativity, and emotional impulses, every challenge will feel impossible. Victory is not determined when the battle begins. It is determined long before by how well you have prepared your mind. The world is full of distractions competing for your attention. Every negative conversation, every fearful report, every destructive influence is trying to shape your thinking. You cannot allow everything into your mind and expect to produce a life of greatness. Protect your mind because it is the birthplace of your destiny. Guard your thoughts because they become your words. Guard your words because they become your actions. Guard your actions because they become your habits. Guard your habits because they become your character. And your character determines the legacy you leave behind. You were never created to be a prisoner of your emotions. You were created to live with vision, wisdom, discipline, and purpose. Your emotions are powerful servants, but they make terrible masters. The moment you decide that your mind will lead and your emotions will follow, everything begins to change. You stop making excuses. You stop surrendering to fear. You stop allowing temporary setbacks to define your future. Instead, you begin thinking with clarity, acting with confidence, and walking with unwavering determination. Trust in your mind, because the quality of your thoughts will always determine the quality of your life. The strongest victories are won long before the world sees them. They are won in the silent moments when you choose discipline over impulse, purpose over comfort, wisdom over emotion, and truth over fear. The person who conquers the mind cannot easily be conquered by life. Feelings have the power to influence you, but they should never have the authority to define you. One of the greatest mistakes people make is allowing temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. A difficult day convinces them to give up on a lifelong dream. A single disappointment makes them question their calling. One rejection causes them to abandon gifts that were meant to impact generations. This is why purpose must always be greater than feelings. Feelings rise and fall like the wind. They change with circumstances, opinions, successes, and failures. Purpose, however, remains constant. It does not change because life becomes difficult. It does not disappear because people misunderstand you. It does not lose its value because the journey becomes uncomfortable. Purpose is the anchor that keeps your life steady when everything around you is shaking. Every person who has accomplished something significant reached moments when they felt tired, discouraged, misunderstood, and ready to quit. The difference is that they refused to let emotions become their master. They understood that feelings speak loudly, but purpose speaks with authority. The greatest victories are never achieved by people who always feel motivated. They are achieved by people who continue moving, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. Real strength is waking up with determination when your emotions tell you to stay where you are. It is choosing faith when fear fills your mind. It is choosing hope when disappointment surrounds you. It is choosing discipline when comfort whispers your name. The world celebrates emotional excitement, but lasting success belongs to those who remain committed after the excitement fades. Purpose gives meaning to sacrifice. It transforms pain into preparation, setbacks into lessons, and delays into opportunities for growth. Without purpose, suffering feels meaningless. With purpose, every challenge becomes part of your development. Do not expect every season of life to feel exciting. Some seasons are designed to stretch your character rather than satisfy your emotions. In those moments, remember that feelings are visitors, but purpose is your permanent assignment. Storms never last forever. Discouragement has an expiration date. Fear cannot rule forever unless you continue giving it permission. The person who keeps walking despite emotional resistance eventually reaches destinations that emotional people never experience. Your future is too valuable to surrender to temporary feelings. Every time you refuse to quit because of frustration, you become stronger. Every time you remain faithful during uncertainty, your character grows deeper. Every time you choose purpose over comfort, you prepare yourself for greater responsibility. Great lives are built through consistent obedience to purpose, not through emotional excitement. Stop asking yourself whether you feel like continuing. Instead, ask whether your purpose has changed. If your assignment remains the same, then your commitment should remain the same. Let your purpose become louder than your fear, greater than your disappointment, and stronger than your emotions. Refuse to allow temporary pain to steal an eternal calling. Refuse to let one difficult chapter convince you that the entire story is over. Every challenge you overcome becomes evidence that your purpose is greater than your circumstances. Live with the understanding that emotions are passengers, not drivers. They may travel with you, but they must never take control of the direction of your life. When purpose leads, feelings eventually follow. Stay focused on what you were created to accomplish, and let every decision be measured by purpose rather than emotion. Those who remain faithful to their purpose will discover that temporary struggles produce lasting strength. Temporary sacrifices create permanent influence, and temporary battles prepare them for an extraordinary legacy. Everything you become begins with what you repeatedly think. Your thoughts are not harmless conversations inside your mind. They are the architects of your future. Every habit starts as a thought. Every achievement begins as a thought. Every failure is first accepted in the mind before it appears in reality. This is why the greatest investment you will ever make is learning to discipline your thinking. An undisciplined mind is one of the most dangerous enemies a person can possess, because it constantly produces excuses, fear, doubt, jealousy, comparison, and negativity. Left unchecked, these thoughts quietly shape attitudes, influence decisions, weaken confidence, and eventually determine the direction of life. You cannot consistently think like a victim and expect to live like a victor. You cannot continually feed your mind with negativity and expect to produce positive results. Whatever dominates your thoughts will eventually dominate your actions. This is why mental discipline is not optional for anyone pursuing greatness. It is essential. Every day your mind receives thousands of ideas, opinions, distractions, and influences. Not every thought deserves your attention. Not every idea deserves your agreement. Wisdom is learning to reject destructive thoughts before they establish strongholds in your mind. The strongest people are not those who never experience negative thoughts. They are the ones who refuse to entertain them. They replace fear with courage, doubt with confidence, confusion with wisdom, and despair with hope. They understand that every destructive thought accepted today becomes tomorrow's limitation. Your mind is like fertile ground. Whatever you consistently plant will eventually produce a harvest. Plant fear and anxiety will grow. Plant excuses and failure will multiply. Plant discipline, faith, wisdom, and truth, and your life will produce strength that cannot easily be shaken. Guard your thinking with determination, because every great accomplishment first survives a battle in the mind. There will always be voices trying to convince you that you are not enough, that your dream is impossible, or that your past defines your future. Never allow those voices to become louder than the conviction placed within you. Replace every limiting belief with empowering truth. Refuse to replay failure until it becomes your identity. Instead, fill your mind with thoughts that build courage, integrity, perseverance, and vision. Discipline is choosing what deserves to remain in your mind and what must be removed immediately. Your future depends upon the quality of your daily thinking far more than the comfort of your present circumstances. A disciplined mind remains calm under pressure because it has already decided what it believes. It does not surrender to panic because circumstances change. It remains focused because vision is greater than distraction. It continues moving because purpose is greater than temporary setbacks. The battle for your destiny will always begin in your thinking long before it appears in your actions. Win the battle in your mind and your actions will follow with confidence. Refuse to become a prisoner of uncontrolled thoughts. Become the guardian of your own mind. Train yourself every day to think with clarity, wisdom, courage, and conviction. As your thinking changes, your decisions will change. As your decisions change, your habits will change. As your habits change, your life will change. The strongest life is always built upon the strongest mind, and the strongest mind belongs to the person who has learned to discipline every thought before it has the opportunity to control their destiny. Wisdom is one of the greatest powers a person can possess because it enables you to make decisions that protect your future instead of satisfying your emotions. Everyday life presents moments where emotions demand an immediate reaction. Anger tells you to speak without thinking. Fear tells you to stop moving. Pride tells you to prove yourself. Offense tells you to seek revenge. Discouragement tells you to quit. But wisdom quietly asks a different question. What decision will produce the greatest result tomorrow? That is the difference between people who merely react to life and those who lead it. Leaders are not controlled by the intensity of their emotions. They are guided by the clarity of their principles. Anyone can react in a moment of pressure, but it takes real strength to pause, think, and choose the response that aligns with purpose rather than impulse. Your future is too valuable to place in the hands of temporary emotions. Every emotional reaction carries consequences, but every wise decision creates opportunities. The choices you make today become the foundation of the life you live tomorrow. Therefore, never allow a temporary feeling to destroy a permanent opportunity. The strongest individuals are not those who have the loudest voices or the greatest physical strength. They are those who possess self-control when everyone else is losing control. They understand that true power is demonstrated through restraint, patience, and clear judgment. Wisdom gives you the ability to calm when others panic, to remain focused when others become distracted, and to remain hopeful when others surrender to despair. This kind of strength cannot be developed overnight. It is built through daily decisions to think before speaking, to listen before judging, and to seek understanding before reaching conclusions. Every challenge in life becomes a classroom where wisdom is developed. Difficult people teach patience. Delays teach endurance. Failure teaches humility. Success teaches responsibility. Every experience contains a lesson for the person willing to learn instead of merely react. Many people ask for an easier life, but lasting growth often comes through learning to respond wisely to difficult situations. Pressure does not have to produce poor decisions. It can produce maturity if you allow wisdom to guide you. Never confuse speed with progress. Quick emotional reactions often create long-term regret, while thoughtful decisions produce lasting peace. There is strength in silence when silence prevents unnecessary conflict. There is strength in forgiveness when forgiveness frees your heart from bitterness. There is strength in humility because humility allows you to continue learning even after achieving success. Wisdom understands that winning every argument is not as important as protecting your character. Protecting your peace is often more valuable than proving your point. Your character is one of your greatest assets, and every wise decision strengthens it. Before every response, ask yourself whether your words will build or destroy, heal or wound, inspire or discourage. Those simple moments of reflection separate disciplined people from impulsive people. A wise mind is not controlled by circumstances because it is anchored in enduring principles. It recognizes that emotions are real but should never become the highest authority. Principles remain steady when feelings fluctuate. Integrity remains firm when temptation appears. Purpose remains clear when confusion surrounds you. Make it your daily commitment to pursue wisdom above impulse, truth above opinion, and discipline above comfort. Fill your mind with thoughts that strengthen your character and elevate your vision. Refuse to let anger become your counselor or fear become your guide. Instead, let wisdom shape your decisions because every wise choice strengthens your future. The person who consistently chooses wisdom over emotional reactions develops a stability that cannot easily be shaken. Such a person becomes dependable in uncertainty, courageous in adversity, and faithful in responsibility. Over time, this pattern of wise decisions builds a life marked by influence, trust, and lasting impact. Your greatest victories will not come from reacting faster than everyone else. They will come from responding with wisdom when everyone else is ruled by emotion. That is the path to enduring strength, meaningful leadership, and a legacy that stands long after emotions have faded. Winning is not an event. It is a way of thinking that is developed long before success becomes visible. Every lasting victory begins in the mind before it is ever seen in reality. People often believe that successful individuals simply possess greater talent, better opportunities, or more favorable circumstances. In truth, what consistently separates them is the quality of their thinking. A winning mind refuses to surrender to excuses, rejects the comfort of mediocrity, and remains committed to growth regardless of the obstacles ahead. Your mind is like a muscle. If you fail to train it, it naturally becomes weak, distracted, and controlled by fear. But when you challenge it every day with truth, discipline, wisdom, and purpose, it becomes stronger with every decision you make. The greatest battles you will ever face are not external. They take place within your own thinking. Every morning you must decide whether you will allow yesterday's disappointments to define today or whether you will embrace the opportunities that stand before you. Winners make this decision daily. They do not wait for confidence to appear before taking action. They build confidence by consistently doing what is right, even when they feel uncertain. They understand clear as throat that excellence is not a destination, but a daily habit. Every disciplined thought strengthens their character. Every positive decision reinforces their vision. And every act of perseverance prepares them for greater responsibility. A winning mind does not deny difficulties, but it refuses to become controlled by them. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? It asks, what can this teach me? Every setback becomes preparation. Every failure becomes education. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to develop greater wisdom and resilience. This mindset transforms adversity into an advantage. Train yourself to guard what enters your mind, because whatever you repeatedly consume eventually shapes your beliefs. Replace fear with courage, negativity with hope, excuses with responsibility, and doubt with unwavering conviction. Fill your thoughts with principles that strengthen your spirit and sharpen your judgment. The quality of your life will always reflect the quality of your thinking. Refuse to compare your journey with others, because comparison weakens focus and steals gratitude. Instead, compete with the person you were yesterday. Make daily improvement your standard. Small victories repeated consistently produce extraordinary transformation over time. Greatness is rarely created through dramatic moments. It is built through faithful discipline practiced every single day. Learn to celebrate progress while remaining hungry for growth. Stay teachable, remain humble, and never believe you have reached the limit of your potential. The strongest leaders are lifelong learners who continually renew their minds with wisdom and truth. They understand that every new lesson increases their ability to serve, influence, and lead others effectively. When pressure comes, their disciplined thinking keeps them steady, because they have trained themselves long before the storm arrived. Build routines that strengthen your mind each day. Begin each morning with intentional thoughts instead of random distractions. Protect your focus. Guard your attention. Speak words that reinforce your purpose rather than your fears. The direction of your life follows the direction of your dominant thoughts. Train your mind to expect growth, embrace responsibility, pursue excellence, and remain faithful to your purpose regardless of circumstances. As you consistently develop this mindset, you become a person who remains calm during uncertainty, courageous during adversity, and determined when others give up. Winning then becomes more than achieving success. It becomes the natural expression of a disciplined mind committed to purpose, integrity, and continual growth. Pressure is an unavoidable part of life, but it does not have to become the reason you fall. In reality, pressure reveals what has already been built within you. When challenges arise, people do not suddenly become strong or weak. They simply reveal the strength or weakness they have been developing every day. That is why inner strength is far more valuable than outward success. External achievements can be lost, but inner character remains the foundation upon which every lasting victory is built. Build your life from the inside out. Develop convictions that remain firm when opinions change. Develop integrity that remains unshaken when temptation appears. Develop faith that remains confident even when circumstances seem impossible. A person whose strength comes only from favorable situations will collapse when those situations disappear. But a person whose strength comes from deeply rooted principles will remain standing even in the fiercest storms. True strength is not the absence of fear, pain, or disappointment. It is the determination to continue moving forward despite experiencing them. It is remaining faithful when results are delayed, remaining kind when treated unfairly, remaining disciplined when comfort calls your name, and remaining hopeful when others have surrendered to despair. Every difficult season becomes an opportunity to deepen your character. Hardship can either harden your heart or strengthen your spirit. The choice belongs to you. Instead of allowing trials to make you bitter, allow them to make you wiser. Instead of allowing criticism to discourage you, allow it to refine you. Instead of allowing failure to define you, allow it to educate you. Inner strength grows every time you choose perseverance over quitting, courage over fear, and purpose over convenience. Stop searching for a life without pressure, because such a life does not exist. Instead, become the kind of person who grows stronger because of pressure. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Steel is strengthened through intense heat, and character is refined through consistent testing. Great responsibility requires great strength, and great strength is developed through faithful endurance. Never underestimate the power of daily discipline. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens, snorts your confidence. Every challenge you overcome increases your resilience. Every wise decision adds another layer to your character. These small victories accumulate until you become the kind of person who remains calm while others panic, and remains focused while others become distracted. Inner strength is not built in moments of comfort, but in moments of commitment. Continue choosing truth even when lies seem easier. Continue choosing integrity even when compromise appears profitable. Continue choosing perseverance even when progress feels slow. Over time, these choices transform your character into an unshakable foundation. Your greatest victories will not simply be measured by what you accomplish, but by the person you become in the process. Build a heart that remains humble in success, courageous in adversity, patient in uncertainty, and faithful in every season. Such strength cannot be taken away by failure, criticism, loss, or changing circumstances, because it is rooted in timeless principles rather than temporary emotions. When your inner life becomes stronger than the pressure surrounding you, you become a person who cannot easily be defeated. Challenges may test you, but they will not define you. Obstacles may delay you, but they will not destroy your purpose. The stronger your character becomes, the greater your capacity to lead, influence, and leave a legacy that inspires generations to come. As we come to the end of this message, remember this truth. Your greatest victory will never be determined by what happens around you, but by what happens within you. The strongest people are not those who never experience fear, disappointment, or pain. They are the ones who refuse to let those emotions take control of their destiny. Every day you have a choice. You can allow your emotions to lead your decisions, or you can train your mind to lead your emotions. That choice will shape your future more than your circumstances ever will. Never forget that your mind is the doorway to your destiny. Whatever you consistently believe, you will eventually become. Whatever you repeatedly think, you will eventually act upon. This is why you must guard your thoughts, strengthen your character, and remain committed to your purpose every single day. Do not wait for life to become easier, become stronger. Do not wait for fear to disappear. Move forward with courage. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Build the discipline to act faithfully with what you have today. There will be moments when pressure increases, when people misunderstand you, when setbacks seem overwhelming, and when your emotions tell you to quit. In those moments, remember that temporary feelings must never be allowed to cancel an eternal purpose. Stand firm in your convictions. Let wisdom guide your choices. Let discipline shape your habits. Let perseverance strengthen your character. Every challenge you overcome is preparing you for greater responsibility, greater influence, and greater impact. Your life was never meant to be controlled by fear, anger, anxiety, or doubt. You were created to live with vision, integrity, self-control, and unwavering purpose. The world does not simply need more talented people. It needs people whose minds are disciplined, whose character is unshakable, and whose decisions are rooted in truth. Become that person. Let every setback teach you. Let every victory humble you. Let every new day become another opportunity to grow into the person you were created to be. If this message has encouraged you, don't allow it to become something you simply heard. Turn it into something you live. Choose one principle today and begin applying it immediately. Great transformation is not produced by information alone. It is produced by consistent action. The small decisions you make every day will eventually become the foundation of an extraordinary life. Keep training your mind. Keep strengthening your spirit. Keep choosing purpose over impulse, wisdom over reaction, and discipline over comfort. One faithful decision at a time. You are building a future that reflects strength, courage, and lasting significance. Thank you for investing your time in this message and allowing these principles to speak into your life. Your presence here means that you are choosing growth over complacency and purpose over passivity. I truly appreciate every moment you have spent watching, listening, and reflecting. My hope is that these words continue to encourage you long after this video ends and inspire you to face every challenge with confidence, wisdom, and determination. If this message added value to your life, consider sharing it with someone who needs encouragement today. Your simple act of sharing could become the turning point in another person's journey. And if you want more messages that strengthen your mindset, deepen your purpose, and inspire you to live with courage and conviction, be sure to support this channel and join this growing community. Thank you once again for watching. May you move forward with a disciplined mind, a steadfast heart, and the confidence to stand firm under every pressure. May each day bring new opportunities to grow in wisdom, lead with integrity, and fulfill the purpose set before you. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and never stop becoming the person you were created to be.